Now, the identity of the man who killed Osama bin Laden's been revealed. Here he is. Rob O'Neill is the name of the man, identified as the highly decorated Navy SEAL who shot the al-Qaeda leader dead during a secret raid in Pakistan in 2011. We now know that he lives in Washington. He works as a motivational speaker, and this is his promotional video.
O'Neill spent 8 of his 16 years as a SEAL as an operator and team leader with the legendary Naval Special Warfare Development Group, where he led the most elite servicemen and was involved in the nation's most challenging, clandestine, storied, and important military campaigns of our time. O'Neill is a veteran of more than 400 combat missions across 4 different theaters of war, spanning over 10 years of armed conflict. With most of his career shrouded in a classified cloak, O'Neill was the man on the ground we have never heard of, but know exists. He was one of the quiet...
That's his motivational video, hinting at some of the operations, including, of course, the killing of Osama bin Laden in 2011 in Pakistan, immortalised in the film Zero Dark 30. Our Foreign Affairs editor Sam Kiley is here. The SEALs are not happy about this man going public.
No, this is the second member of that kill team that dealt with Osama bin Laden in Abbottabad. The first, Matt Bissonnette, has been ostracised by his community. His response from the commanding officer of that operation when he sent him a text, this was Matt Bissonnette, was the response, "Delete me." And that, I think, is really what this individual, Robert O'Neill, can also face now. They're getting very angry, as indeed the Special Forces in this country. If you write a book, famously Andy McNabb, Bravo 20, he was ostracised by the Special Forces community. Now, in many cases, they laugh all the way to they sob all the way to the bank as a consequence of these things. But for Matt Bissonnette, is now actually suing his own lawyer for having allegedly given him advice that meant that he thought he was allowed to do this and he found out that he wasn't. In the case of Mr. O'Neill, that isn't the issue. The issue is that he is trying to draw attention to the way that he and other members of the Special Forces community have been treated when they've left the military. He says that he left at the 16-year mark rather than the 20-year normal retirement age and has lacked, therefore, support in terms of pension and medical care. And indeed, of course, they are, if their identity is revealed, they're under threat potentially from al-Qaeda revenge attacks.
On that point, you know, there are hundreds of thousands of people out there who mourned the death, the assassination, as they will have seen it, of Osama bin Laden, who yearn for the identity of his killer. They now have it. Not only do they know what he's called, they know what job he does, where he lives, that he's married with children.
Yeah, his father has given an interesting interview to the Daily Mail this morning, in which he says, let's put a big target on him and, bring it on, come get us and see how well you do. Now, that's a very kind of macho statement, obviously putting his chin out. His wife, however, anonymously gave an interview to an American magazine last year in which she said they were extremely concerned and were thinking of changing his name, taking his name off the title deeds to the property, paying off the vehicles that they had on HP because they wanted to get his whole profile taken down just in case his name leaked out. But now it's going to be in the public domain, or now it is in the public domain. He will clearly be in some form of danger, and that's something that he's complained about. He said he was offered a job as what he said was a beer delivery guy, which is, as he said, it was a sort of the equivalent of what you do with a mafia snitch when you put them in a witness protection program. Rather than who, by anybody's standards, and whatever one thinks of the operation that killed bin Laden, was, in American terms, a war hero. 52 awards, most of them combat awards, most of them for valour. Must be one of the great record-breaking kind of serial medal winners in the American Armed Forces. And yet, in his view, he was badly let down by the American defence system. And I think that is really why he surfaced, because he hasn't actually written a book. He hasn't got anything yet to sell, but of course he is trying to make a living as a motivational speaker.
Not driving around delivering beer.
It's not delivering beer.
No. Sam, thanks very much indeed.